The old wooden door clicked shut behind Zara. A small sound, but it marked the end of everything she'd known. She stood on the pavement, clutching a worn suitcase and a porcelain bird, her only treasures from a life she was leaving behind. Years of quiet heartbreak and Mark's indifference had worn her down, but today she chose hope over fear. The bus station was nearly empty in the pale morning light as she bought a one-way ticket to the city. She had little money, no friends waiting, and no plan, just the desperate whisper of her own heart urging her forward. As the bus pulled away, Zara didn't look back. The past was closed, the future, uncertain but hers. A single tear traced her cheek, not for what she'd lost, but for what she might finally gain. She remembered all the nights she'd prayed for a sign, only to realize she had to be her own rescuer. The journey ahead would be hard, but for the first time she felt a sense of control. She was the driver of her own life now, even if the road was dark and unpaved. The familiar landscape faded, replaced by the unknown. Fear lingered, but hope burned brighter. She was no longer waiting for someone to save her. This was her chance to begin again. Zara stepped into the unknown, ready to write her own story. The city was overwhelming, a storm of noise, crowds, and glass towers. Zara's first week blurred by in cheap motels and endless job rejections. Her savings dwindled, and loneliness pressed in, but she kept searching. Finally, a small diner called the Corner Spoon gave her a chance. The work was grueling, but every dollar earned was a victory. Her tiny rented room became her sanctuary, and exhaustion was now the ache of progress. She learned to find joy in small things: a free concert, a library book, a hot cup of tea. Each day on her own, rebuilt a little of her lost strength. The city's noise slowly drowned out the critical voice of her past. She was surviving, building a fragile foundation for a new life. With each step, Zara discovered she was stronger than she'd ever believed. One rainy afternoon, the diner was quiet. A man with kind eyes sat alone, reading a book Zara loved as a girl. When he left, she found a generous tip and a note. "Your smile brightens this rainy day. Keep shining. You are stronger than you know." The words brought tears to her eyes. She felt seen for the first time in the city. That napkin became her most prized possession, a reminder that kindness still existed. The man Liam returned each week, always sitting in the same booth. Their conversations grew from books to dreams, and he listened without judgment. Liam never pried into her past, but his encouragement was steady and genuine. Their weekly talks became a bright spot in Zara's life. He saw her potential, not just her exhaustion. His belief in her was like water to a wilting flower. For the first time, Zara began to imagine a future beyond survival. Zara and Liam's friendship deepened, built on trust and honesty. Inspired by his faith in her, she started taking online business courses, investing in herself. One afternoon, Liam revealed he was the head of a major foundation. He offered her a chance to lead a new initiative, support centers for women escaping abuse. At first, Zara doubted herself. She was just a waitress with a painful past, but Liam's belief in her was unwavering. He wasn't offering charity. He saw her strength and empathy as essential. With trembling resolve, Zara accepted, ready to turn her pain into purpose. It was an opportunity to help others and to finally believe in herself. A new chapter was about to begin. The transition from waitress to foundation director was a whirlwind. Zara poured herself into the work, drawing on her own experience to guide her. She visited shelters, listened to women's stories, and implemented programs for job training, legal aid, and counseling. Her empathy became the foundation's greatest strength. Under her leadership, the organization's impact grew rapidly. Zara found her voice, speaking publicly and sharing her journey to inspire others. She became a powerful advocate, turning her pain into hope for countless women. Her relationship with Liam deepened. They were partners in work and in life. In helping others, Zara continued to heal herself. She was no longer defined by her past, but by the woman she had become. Strong, confident, and filled with purpose, she was finally thriving. The foundation's success was her legacy. Zara had transformed her life and the lives of many others. Years later, Zara returned to her hometown, not for closure from her ex, but for herself. Driving through familiar streets, she realized the town no longer held power over her. Passing her old house, she saw Mark. now just a distant memory. She felt nothing. Her validation came from within. Instead, she visited the community center to announce a new women's shelter funded by her foundation. Standing before the crowd, she saw hope in the eyes of women who reminded her of herself. Her journey had come full circle. She was now the lifeline she once needed. Leaving the town again, she felt only peace and empowerment. She had faced her past with grace, not anger. Zara returned to the city, to her work, to Liam, and to the future they were building. The ghosts of her past were finally at rest. She had turned her pain into purpose for others. Zara's life was now filled with joy she once thought impossible. She and Liam built a home of love, laughter, and respect. Leading the foundation, she helped thousands of women find courage and hope. Her greatest success was reclaiming herself, whole, happy, and unapologetically Zara. Her story proves that walking away from pain is an act of self-love, not failure. Healing begins when we choose ourselves, even when it's hard. Zara's scars became symbols of strength, her journey a beacon for others. Kindness, she learned, can change a life. She was her own hero, her happiness hard-won and real. Zara's story is a reminder, a new beginning is always possible. All it takes is the courage to take that first step.
What's something people don't know about stories? They never truly end. There's always a new adventure waiting for you. Just pick your next tale and I'll meet you there. Subscribe to the Story Circle and let me know which story I should tell next in the comments.